I'll go ahead and just start. We've been through 3 weeks of training camp, and it's been a long grind. It's been a good grind. Our players had a great scrimmage Saturday night under the lights. First night practice under the lights, getting ready for our first game. Had yesterday off, gave most of the day off, and came out with a light practice today. We're relatively healthy. Minor bumps and bruises still, and some things here and there through camp, but relatively healthy. We have decided after 3 weeks of training camp that we're going to name a starting quarterback. All three guys have taken a lot of reps with the ones and the twos, being Kyle Bolin, Gio, and Jonathan Lewis. But through the summer training camp, we decided Kyle Bolin will be the starting quarterback for game one. Kyle's also voted by the players to be a captain, as you guys know, last week. Really happy with the leadership that Kyle has brought to our football team. He's a really mature individual. He's been well trained, well coached in his past, and he just has got a wealth of experience that we're really excited about what he's going to bring to our offense. All three guys did a great job through training camp. Backup right now is still undecided. Both Gio and Jonathan will potentially have an opportunity to play depending on the situation. But right now, moving forward, Kyle will be our starting quarterback. We're excited about our game coming up here in less than 2 weeks. Got an outstanding opponent in Washington coming up, preseason number 7 in the country. We'll slowly start to turn our focus to Washington prep here this week as we transition. But with that, I'll go ahead and open it up for questions.
Chris, we've talked a lot about what Kyle did mentality-wise coming in here. How about on the field in the 20 or so practices you have? What do you do to separate himself?
Just executed, made good decisions, and understands the offense. It's got really good command of the offense. But it's really just about execution and making good decisions and protecting the football and understanding all aspects of the offense. That's really what separated it.
How important is it to have almost 2 full weeks to now install a game plan knowing who your quarterback is?
It's very important. We wanted to, this is about the time frame we wanted to make that announcement and get that done. It's what's best for that unit, it's what's best for the offense and the whole team, that there's not uncertainty in probably the most important position on the football team. So it is important to get it done right now and just put it at ease and let Kyle go focus on being the starting quarterback.
How does Gio take the news?
Gio's been great. Gio's a team guy. He's a competitor. He's battling. He knows how many quarterbacks we used last year for whatever reason. And Gio's going to do everything he can to support Kyle. He's going to do everything he can to continue to get better, and he's going to be ready if his number is called.
Whether he's a backup technically, do you foresee a role in the office for Jonathan Lewis?
Yeah, I mean, right now that's yet to be determined, but we're having those conversations about what Jonathan Lewis's role will be in our offense. Jonathan is going to be an outstanding quarterback here. He's done a lot of great things through training camp. He's still learning. He got on campus, here in July, so he still learns. It's really hard for a quarterback to learn, everything he's going to need to know to go out and play major college football in basically a month and a half, like Jonathan's tried to do. But he's done some great things, and here over the next couple of weeks, we'll decide what type of role that will be.
What kind of criteria now for a number 2 guy, and I assume it would be between Gio and John?
Yeah, it's between those two guys. I mean, it's going to be the same thing we talk about that separates a starter and a backup. Same thing, who understands the offense, who's dependable, who can go out there and execute it, who can take care of the ball and make good decisions. That'll decide who the number 2 is.
Chris, have you settled any of the other position battles, right guard, kicker, punter, or are those still in progress?
We have settled the majority of them. Right now, Marcus Applefield will be the starting right guard as we speak today. The kicking situation is still yet to be determined. We're getting closer to that. We'll hopefully have that settled here by the end of the week. That's probably the one spot on the football team that's still up for grabs.
So you're a little surprised to see Kyle be nominated or voted captain. He just got here a couple months ago.
It's just that speaks volumes about him as a person, who he is, and what he's done since he's gotten here. Right away, he's a likable guy. People are drawn to him. He demonstrated great leadership ability. He just worked extremely hard from the day he got here. Other players really respected that, and that's why he was voted as a captain.
Chris, you mentioned he's a starter for game one. What's your plan going forward on a week-to-week basis?
Kyle's our starting quarterback. That's it.
Any other questions, guys?
Chris, Kamoka, we saw him in black the other day, and didn't see him today. What's the story with him?
No, he just got some issues going on, but he's fine. We got to hold him out for some things. But again, we're going to talk about injuries but he'll be fine.
He'll play in the first game.
Yeah, unless something unforeseen changes that. It's like anybody else right now. We're planning on him playing.
You're 3 weeks into camp, or 2 weeks out from less than 2 weeks out. What's your biggest concern about the team going to
Just how we're going to handle game day. That's the biggest thing. I'm always going to be concerned about what I consider our main four, our big four that we've got to execute well. That's O-line and quarterback, D-line, and then our kicking game. Those have been the main focal points here the whole off season, the summer, and training camp. That we have to get those four areas playing at a higher level and execute better. And that's going to be my concern until we go out and see what we can do on game day.
It looks like from the last two practices we've seen, Chris, looks like Janarian is really kind of ramping it up. How do you feel about where he is right now?
I feel great. I felt great about Janarian all along. Obviously, we had to be cautious with Janarian, a 3-week training camp up until today. We were going to limit his reps, and we need him to be ready to go on game day. So the whole plan was to, give him what he could do, make sure he's well rested, make sure he's healthy and physically ready to go, and he is right now. And now it's time to progress him and give him more and more and have him ready for game day.
Your freshman receivers, and specifically Bo Melton, how are they performing now that you're getting them in scrimmage settings?
They're doing a great job. They kind of hit the wall a little bit with 3 weeks of training camp, like a lot of freshmen do. Got to be information overload with the volume of things that were thrown at them. And when you talk about the offense and situations and special teams, it gets to be a lot. But they're handling it extremely well. And as we start to cut back here over this next week and into next week, as we get ready for a game, it'll be easier on them.
Migos, we haven't talked to you about that, but how did that come about? And I guess the more looking forward
I had
question.
no idea. The Migos showed up. We were going to a team cookout. All of a sudden, I got off the bus. That's all I can tell you.
Do you get a sense of what it did from you're hearing from recruits? I mean, was it the reaction?
You know what? It was a great event. We had a lot of fun at it. I've talked to recruits about just our program and what we're doing. Some of them mentioned it, saw it on social media. I mean, it was really about our players. Our players had a great time. It was a relaxing time for them. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. They enjoyed it, and seems to be well received by recruits. But again, they just showed up. I don't know.
We all saw you dancing,
You
in
did?
a video.
That was pretty good.
You didn't get called on for dancing with the stars or anything? Or?
I might start to retweet that a little bit more. I might get called. You like the moves?
I did.
I'd like to see you in Dudley. So it was fun.
All right, thanks, Chris.